Good morning and welcome to the Capital Gang. I am Oscar Semoyam Soke, and as Moses of the Morning Show would say, and he's still in the studio, with a bevy of topics. Indeed, enjoyable topics for the morning. I have soon to be Honorable Ofonopono. In fact, in just a matter of days, it will be official. He will be Honorable Ofonopono.
I'm already gazetted.
Yeah. But you're not sworn in.
But
so you are elect. Yeah.
But I'm gazetted.
You're gazetted. And congratulations all the way, as you know. I've been congratulating you regularly.
No, not really congratulating.
And I'm
there are two people. I think you're one of them.
You're off the microphone.
There are two people, and you're one of them who gave me campaign money in dollars.
Now, some things you're not supposed to say.
No. You are the ones who are talking about transparency.
Yeah,
but in any case, you are not a government official. Otherwise, they will say, where did you get the money?
Yeah, there are some things like bedroom, unless you want to go into the bedroom as well, like Biara. Hey. So in the studio, I also have Honorable Emmanuel Wepukulu Biara, who wishes to be a deputy speaker. You're most welcome to the gang, right, Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Oscar, and good morning, listeners. But today I've also come with this stick from the Bamasaba. They have now named me the political cynometer because it is made out of iron wood.
Yeah.
So it's a symbol which depicts the miracle that was performed by Moses while crossing the Red Sea. Therefore, I'm going to cross my people of Bulambuli with this stick to the political forums of this country. Thank you.
Incredible. So, as you seated right there, our gang, right honorable speaker, comes in. So, we are now fully constituted. We have.
We are going to have a speaker from Sironko and Bulambuli.
Yes.
You know, originally, I think he didn't have a home in Sironko. Although he's standing in the city.
So we wish you the best with swearing in. What day will you be sworn in?
Yeah, on 13th, immediately after the president. I'm in next.
Yeah. Shows
and I invite all the gangsters. You, Oscar, you have to come in. We are going to have our Kadodi dance around Balwa. Please come and enjoy.
Lydia has already invited me. She's having her celebration,
but
at a very
it's different days. So maybe
hers is on, your Kadodi has a very high end, classy hotel.
Yeah,
that's where we'll be going for celebration and dinner. So things are a bit different.
But come and bless my swearing in ceremony so that I deliberate well in the 12th Parliament. You'll be most welcome.
Thank you. And our gang, Right Honorable Speaker Lydia Wanyoto Mutende.
Yes,
Honorable.
Good morning to our listeners and the viewers. Councillor Philip, you're welcome. I'm happy to see you. You have not been here for a while. Welcome. I saw yesterday with the beautiful daughters at Parliament. And one I want to support her. She's going to be your PA so that we are more organized. I'm supporting that idea.
I'm suggesting that I've reached this far through this organization. I've been away because...
yes, Kapila Byong.
Having been declared unopposed on 5th November,
yes,
I retweeted Kapila Byong to do farming.
I actually want to visit Kapila Byong.
I'm doing long-term investment in forestry, mainly.
Yes.
Although now I have branched a little into
livestock. I'm coming to Kapila Byong to visit, but I'll come with one of the girls I met yesterday. I also want to welcome you, join you, Oscar, to welcome my brother Emmanuel to the gang. Thank you. I bring you greetings from Umbale City. Yes, The original is the Sironko district, but Mbale is the sitting room for all the Easterners for Vamasava. So I'm keeping what we call the sitting room, yes.
Yeah.
So I bring you greetings
speaker,
from...
The other one wants to be deputy speaker. Yeah. So in the studio as well, we have not honorable, but counsel, Mr. Philip Karugaba. You're most welcome back to the Capital Gang. And I've seen your explanations of whether we are foreign or not foreign according to the sovereignty bill. And here we are.
Thank you very much, Oscar. Thank you very much, gangsters. It's a special pleasure to be here. If I may borrow an expression from the late Shaka Sali, I'm profoundly honored and exceedingly humbled. The last time I was here, I said I've achieved my dream in life. Now to be here when Oscar is saying bevy of topics, as Moses of the morning show would say, that's it. What more can I ask for?
Yeah.
Thank you.
He used to say that exceedingly humbled,
honored,
profoundly honored, and exceedingly humbled.
Yes.
Good morning, listeners.
May he rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. Yes. Imagine saying that in a Ruchiga accent on American TV.
Shaka and Olaro Tono are admirable. Ugandans who lived there for a very long time and retained.
The Ugandaness in them.
The Ugandans, the Acholiness and the Ruchiganess.
Lived on.
In speaking, I really liked that. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So, Pondo, you've been executive director of the Uganda Media Center before.
Yeah.
So, because I see 3 MP elects in the studio all going to that August House for the first time. So I guess you are the one who would know what happened. So on Tuesday, the president, do you know how many presidents are coming to attend the swearing in? There's been word that there might be as many as 35.
That's what I learned. One of my officers, former officers, who attends the National Organizing Committee of Government, told me they have extended the invitation to 35 presidents and heads of government. That's not strange, because it's almost invariably they do almost the whole of African continent, but usually the turn up depends on the commitments of other people. I think the highest we have had in the past were like 12 for the swearing in. I think that was 2011, thereabout.
Yeah, there were many.
Including
Nigeria. Yeah. It's a big one.
I've not been following continental politics for the last 1 year, because I was in politics, and since election I've been in Japan. So, but even then, when all of them don't turn up, they send delegations. Yeah.
And so they some come on the actual day and actually leave on the same day.
Yeah, most of them presidents invariably are busy people. They have multiple commitments, so it is hard for a president it is rare for a president to stay in a place for more than 2 nights. So usually they come that morning and attend the function. Some actually even leave before the functions end.
Yeah. And then,
but what's important is when they write back to say we are sending a delegation. That's good enough.
I've seen notices saying Kololo will be under lockdown on Tuesday.
Not just Kololo, Kampala, I think, but this is the first time we're having swearing in as a public holiday. Secondly, it's going to be massive because, they have planned it to be massive because we are doing 2 things: swearing in the president and also holding the celebration party for the entire NRM election machinery. The president, as you know, won. NRM won parliament massively by 72%, and the local councils. So, and remember, of course, the how can I put it? We have been hovering, we had gone down to 58%. And now bouncing back to 71, 72.6. I think has created an atmosphere, feeling of, you call it deja vu in the party and supporters. And initially, the president had said, invite only 50 people from the district. Then they said, no. We want to bring everyone who can come to Korono. And this is also the first time the swearing in of the president is the MPs coming back to back with that of the president. Most of the MPs, particularly representing constituencies, would want to bring some of their key supporters and agents to Kololo, so that even if somebody sees the president from a distance, he says, it is a Lydia who took me to see Museveni. And they go and they brag. So it is going to be massive in that sense. It's a bragging week. And remember, it is not just that win, but also this, the decapitation of the opposition. You remember the president said, I will finish these new people, these are my people. I think I deployed in there. And his word came to be true, reducing NUP from the 34% at the presidential to 24%, reducing NUP from 57 to 48, almost wiping out FDC. FDC now has only 9 people in parliament. So DP2, initially in this outgoing parliament, they had I think 8. They have now come back just 6 people, including its president. So,
who is NRM?
You are the one saying so. I haven't heard him say he's NRM.
He's in the NRM government.
No, being in the NRM government is different from being in the NRM party. Yeah, you can be in NRM government for something else, for different reasons, but he's not in the party because we opened the membership registration. He didn't join. So, and he ran as a DP, is holding a DP ticket, and I doubt if he would cross the floor now, because then he would have to resign from parliament. I don't think he would. So I don't know what he wants to keep. So, but anyway, so that's the reason there's going to be it's going to be massive. Yeah.
You know, people did say that NRM was not celebrating the win because it didn't seem like a confident win. And there are still people that say maybe because they felt they'd stolen the win, that's why they did not celebrate. They're a little bit unlike you who won unopposed.
I don't know which people, but you say in Uganda, we NRM people are used to naysayers. This was the win that I think where I move, and I move across the country, where I think even our competitors, except for 1 or 2 people, agreed that particularly President Museveni won without a lot of what had been the usual friction. I have heard the Honorable Nandara Mafavi saying he's also disputing, yet I think he lost in his polling station. His own polling station in Budadiri there. But we're used to naysayers. And when people are saying, you have just concluded this bill you're talking about, people, the opposition that has 18% of members of parliament, they're saying that those who are speaking for the people. And they're saying the NRM, which has 76%, is not presenting the views of the people. So we are used to that kind of narrative. It's okay. That's what a democracy is. But I think really they are sour losers. The people who say...
That's the summary.
Yeah, and the people who say NRM didn't win fairly or cheated them, they are sour losers, because if Museveni is the one who had won that massively and NRM lost, that would be probably would reflect unfairness. But for NRM to win, Museveni to win, we win parliament that number. We win LC 5, 146. And you know what NUP has? They only have 12 chairmen, LC 5, district chairmen. Councillors at LC 3 with their There are 5,100 something. NRM is in 3,800 plus. So whoever says so, we wish them well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come back to you in a short while about what you'd wish to do in your first 100 days. So, so Lydia, as soon as you're sworn in, what happens? When do we get to that election of the of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker?
I'll take oath on the 15th of May. It is going to be Friday afternoon, according to the program I received from the Office of the Clerk to Parliament. They have not come out firmly in writing to tell us when the Speaker will be elected, but when the clerk came to Chankwanzi, he said that according to the program, they were thinking that the election of the Speaker will be on the 25th of May, according to their program. But recently, when he was responding to one of the queries, he said that they were still consulting. But the first business...
Consulting with who?
With the key stakeholders. I mean, they must consult the President, they must consult the presiding officer, who is the Chief Justice. But the most important is that the first business of the House is the election of the Speaker. So if we are done with the Wanyotos, who are the last ones, on the 15th of May, we do not have, and the 15th of May is a Friday. The Monday of, will be 17th? We have no any other business apart from hearing the program of electing the Speaker. Otherwise, there must be a political head of the August House before any business is transacted. Whether it's a workshop, it must be a political head. Because the business of the House, whether it's in the plenary or outside the plenary, is led by the political head. It's business of the House. And the head of the business of the House is the Speaker. And the 529 members of Parliament, from whom a Speaker comes from, will be ready as at the break of day on the 15th of May. So we don't have any reason to delay, apart from having the program to elect the head of the legislature, who will then maybe do business, and then we do the orientation, the induction, because there must be a political head to run business of the House. It's in the rules.
Yeah.
I'm only quoting the rules and the law. It's not from me. Yeah.
So in 1 week's time, there's a chance that you might also be ordering your large car.
We have different orientations. For people like myself, it's a service, and I learned from you, and I hope you can take this to the House. We've really been serving our country. We've been serving without vehicles. How many years did you throw me on public transport
I had to
go and do work for the party and stuff? So yes, there are official vehicles, but
for me,
yeah.
The downgraded, they give me what's that car, a small version of a Land Cruiser.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember its name. I couldn't even remember.
Fortuna.
Fortuna.
After you campaigning for me for 8 years,
Yes.
I was in that office for 13 years.
For 13 years, they gave you without a vehicle. Actually, you sit here and campaign that has no vehicle. Oscar yourself, and finally ended up with is it a Fortuna? After 13 years, so we have the hustler cadres, but we also have those that enjoy the dreams of opulence. But we are all Ugandans, so people will choose. This is a secret ballot. We hope that reason will prevail for a parliament that is for the people.
Rolls-Royce is bought by government?
I don't know. If when Lydia wins, we shall know now.
I see.
Yeah, when I win, I'll be able to tell you what is due to the office of the Speaker and the private.
It's not just the office of the Speaker of Parliament where opulence of the NRM is. You remember the first cabinet had laurels.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, laurels are like
long Toyota
Chikumi.
No, but a bit longer.
Toyota
Chikumi is short.
It was more stylish, but it was a laurel.
Nissan Lorraine.
Yeah, it was a Nissan.
And bought a wooden bed
From Boise.
Kubiri. So I think maybe part of the problem.
Things have changed.
There was the Bush War, the ideology of the Bush War, but also there was scarcity. Now with the economy rising, everyone would want to have a good thing. I see Oscar driving a car that's better than most of the ministers. So everybody is improving. Oscar, you remember when we were with you at university, we never had a beer.
No.
I want to.
Was it because of scarcity or the affordability?
Scarcity. Actually, we would come, they would allocate. John Kazore's first job as special district administrator.
Writing cheats.
Was to call us the.
You have to go to the microphone.
He had to give us cheats to go to prudential stores of Musei Greme to bring 1 crate of beer. And you bring 1 crate of beer and you give only 2 bottles for somebody who has registered earlier that they have a birthday party. And then we punch the beer with our crude warrage from Katanga. So there's opulence. Yeah. I think which NRM needs to re-examine.
Moses.
NRM government and NRM party, we must re-examine the opulence, the wastage, and abuse.
So, Honorable Biara, for you, what are you doing so far to get that vote to become Deputy Speaker? Because Wednesday you'll be sworn in, and you have a few days apart from the party. The party is on the Wednesday itself, yes. And then the other 2 days you'll be busy campaigning, reaching out to people.
Reaching out different members. Thank you very much, Oscar.
He has been posting.
Let me start, first of all, by congratulating His Excellency the President for his 7th term, and he will be sworn in on the 12th, where I am glad that many people, especially heads of state, have promised to honor the invitation, and they'll be with us here. That is why we have beefed up security in Kololo. We are not just going to close for the sake of inconveniencing business, but to protect the heads of state. I think my senior Fono Pondo, you'll remember when Dr. Garanga came here, and then there was that accident of the helicopter. So many things were attached to Uganda. This time, of course, that was just an accident. So we want to see that Kololo is secure and safe for everybody, for every guest that will be coming, and not only those coming from across the continent or the globe, but also our own foot soldiers, because we have invited up to sub-county level, the chairpersons of sub-counties, the chairpersons, NRM, all leagues are coming to be in Kololo with us. And also, as the members of parliament elect, would want to see that we all successfully get protected until our swearing in the following day for my case. For me, I also want to congratulate the people of Lambuli out of the many mudslides and floods we face. But we have a call now that they managed to send me here to represent them. And immediately after swearing in at 2 p.m. on 13th, I'm going to embark on listening to the direction that the president will give us. Oscar, when I left the studio the last time I was here, we headed to Chankwanzi, and we thought the race for deputy speakership is going to be wide open, especially to discuss issues of the SEC resolution that was sent, that they were maintaining the status quo. Unfortunately, when we reached there, it was not part of the item on the agenda, And the president was very clear when one of the candidates for speakership.
Maybe aspirants.
Okay. One of the aspirants for, I think he's from Aringa, it's called York, somebody, Honorable Odia, yes. He raised it in front of the president. The president advised that he wait until I'll guide you further. So some of us, especially the NRM, like myself, have been waiting for that guidance, maybe to come in immediately after we swear in, because I don't want to go against the principles of NRM, that if they chose or they elected the flag bearer, I would want to back. If they elected me, I would want all of NRM members to back me. If they elected somebody else, they would, but I doubt if that is going to come up, because I even interacted with the chairman Electoral Commission, Dr. Tang Odoi. I interacted with the SG about that, but there has not been any clear information. We wait until we shall be guided by the chairman of the party, I think anytime soon. But all in all, we are there. We are still competing fairly. I'm glad that my senior Fono Pondo has been reading all my messages in the groups that I've been sending to all candidates, even SMSs, and then I've also managed to call a few people. And after I'm glad that I'll be one of the first, maybe to swear in on the first day. Then the rest of the days, I'll be visiting my sister Lydia. I'll be going even to Ofono or his function if he invites me, and then we continue interacting. We see what will come out. But
Thank
all
you.
in all, I think as we prepare to swear in, let us now leave all the differences that have been through the campaign trail. There is no time for campaign now. We want to concentrate on service delivery. As the NRM, we have a manifesto that we sold to the people, and they decided to vote for us with a lot of support, up to 72%. My constituents alone, we voted NRM 90%. I think even I saw one of the videos, the president appreciating Blambuli constituency of Blambuli district, because we used the BVVK machines, and we contributed. And also Bugisu or Elgon zone as a region, we have been having interference with some other parties, political parties, but this time we decided no, let us vote NRM massively. We painted Bugis sub-region yellow, and we are also expecting that in a special way we can also have some of these positions given to us, and we shall serve. We shall serve with a lot of patriotism, with a lot of accountability, with a lot of inclusivity for the development of this nation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Philip Karugava, this is as they bask in a moment of glory. Perhaps you'd wish to congratulate these three honorable elects.
Yes, I'm in such distinguished company. I hope it's not contagious. Do you think? Are we safe?
But
Yes.
Philip, we have been with you for a long time.
Yes.
If NRM was contagious,
Yes.
you would be having scabies.
But I congratulate them all.
But we
on
like
the
the color.
elections.
Look at his color. It's not very far from us. The color of the shirt.
We want to normalize. This is not an NRM color. This is an ordinary color that I am free to wear on any day. But I congratulate the MPs. Could I mention the MPs we are going to miss? Yes?
Yes.
I think we are going to miss Honorable Jonathan Odur, Honorable Nandala Mafabi, Honorable Ibrahim Semujunganda, Honorable Goreti Namoga. I think
Katuntu.
yes, Honorable Abdu Katuntu. I think it's just
Nimagawa.
yes, Winfred. You see, but sometimes
And the one from Bunyoro.
yes, sometimes
Tinkasimi.
Tinkasime. Yes. So it's sad to see those people go and being voted out, not them voluntarily saying we're not continuing, but being voted out. I don't know what's happening in the country. But then maybe it gives opportunity for other bright stars to come up as well. So we pray for that. Honorable Lydia, you don't seem to believe me.
do you know, Phil, Katutu replaced the Honorable Kive Jinja.
Yes.
Sechikubo replaced the Honorable Sam Rwakojo. Very good MPs.
Yes.
So, every generation produces its authors.
Yes.
Give people a chance. And you should have been campaigning for them. I didn't hear you during the campaign period, campaigning for those good MPs.
For those good MPs.
You should have campaigned for them so that their voters see that they are good beyond just the constituencies. But I can assure you,
fair point. Yes.
This parliament has very young people, well educated in my view, from the assessment I made in Siankwanzi. They will surprise many. Yeah.
I didn't even contribute in dollars.
You see, Oscar, who knew my word, did contribute to my campaign.
Yes.
As from Chigo thinkers, we don't accept or deny anything that's said. It's a Chatham House rule. You don't accept or deny. So at some point, you being my MP in terms of looking after the old, I hope you've already got a plan worked out cut out for your work in Parliament.
Yeah. The government of Uganda has been doing something, but is inadequate. Let me just mention quickly two. The government of Uganda has been giving them monthly stipend.
Was that the one of 25,000?
25,000, which the government this year promised the cabinet, actually it was announced, to increase to 35,000 per month. Unfortunately, when we were in Chankwanzi, the people from Ministry of Finance said they did not have that money. And so we intend to push that increment to be implemented. But also, the government announced lowering the age from 80 to 65. But from my short experience now, since being elected and campaigning, I see that the biggest thing other people need is health insurance, some form of health insurance. The government of Uganda we don't call it health insurance, but the government of Uganda is already implementing some form of health insurance for two categories of people. Pregnant mothers via antenatal care, and babies up to the age of 16 through those cycles of immunization. From the last census report, people in Uganda who are 65 years and above are approximately 1.64 million people. Some of those are like me, probably they don't need direct health insurance from government. So I think with good calculation, with good research, those people could be about 600 people, the people who are really needy. And when we're in Chankwanzi again with my colleagues, Honorable Jacqueline Mbabazi and others, we raised a memo which we sent to the Secretary General. We hope it has been delivered to the Chairman of the Party and the President. That
he's also your member.
I'm the MP for Mr. Museveni now.
The vote of OO.
Yes, so we would want that if the government of Uganda cannot give every Ugandan health insurance, those old people who have actually contributed to the country, that we can start with them. And we can start with...
And there are not many.
Most common illnesses. If I see your messages in my phone, people who are on diabetes, people who are on high blood pressure, people on arthritis, people who are on prostate, whatever, enlarged prostate, things like that, are staggering. And somebody comes and is asking just for 28,000 shillings for that tablet to take them a month. So I think these are the neglected areas. But I hope we can mobilize. I can't say we shall do it quickly, but I hope we can mobilize younger members of parliament to know that this is where they're also going in the next few years. Younger civil servants, because we have a civil service which is obtuse, which is insensitive. You see, when people are in the service in the government, they don't know that they are going to retire. It is when they retire that they are tossed for pension, they are tossed for gratuity, then they know. And nobody bothers. So we hope we can convince those young people in the service and parliament. Majority of you are catering for old people. But we cannot let government, let private citizens cater for old people who have served the country as if they did not serve. So those are really, this position should be for lobbying for those policies. I hope we can achieve that within this first term of mine. And we seem to be having common understanding with my other 4 colleagues, but also some people in the leadership now, because sometimes you just need to create awareness that this is a major issue. So that would be our main thing. We can achieve that.
We shall interrogate them all. In the meantime, welcome back. I noticed Honorable Biara did not come with a chapati in his pocket. Star Cafe has provided samosa. Ofonopono so far has been doing a good job. I've
done 2
large samosas.
2 samosas.
Yeah.
We call them peas. Yeah. I like them.
Next time, Oscar, we are going to supply, me with Lydia, we shall supply you with some Arabica coffee, called Elgon Pride from the BCU Bugis Cooperative Union. And it is the best in the country, it's the best on the continent. So.
Yeah. In the studio, I already knew he'd be late. Another man from the East, young journalist, Derek Wandera.
So Philip is surrounded.
Yeah, we can
don't worry. Wise people come from the East and stop in the West.
I also had Malewa for breakfast. So I'm immunized. It's my favorite.
So,
and I put Shabwe in it. So I'm combining East and West. I think it's the best of Uganda.
Derek, you're most welcome to Gang. I should apologize to listeners. We seem to have a problem with our online platform, but technical team is working on it and will be up and running soon. So you are the reporter, and now that you're here, how was the sovereignty bill passed? Because
huge one.
We don't have any member here, member of parliament that was in there to vote.
Huge question. Beginning with a disclaimer, my media house has no access to parliament yet, but nonetheless we did.
I like the way you say yet. So there's hope.
There has been.
There's hope that you.
We hope this can yield into something material, really. But we followed using all the social media platforms or the platforms that there are to make sure that we get as much information as possible. And trust you me, we did a good job, because when you look at the headline from New Vision and the headline from Monitor, they kind of resonate in a way that one begins a sentence and the other completes. New Vision said sovereignty bill passed, and Daily Monitor said you'll pay for it. So I mean, like, that shows that there's resonance within the media fraternity, and I think journalists are doing a very good job, like, putting their foot on ground. Probably a few glitches here and there, but nonetheless, there was really good coverage. From a journalistic point of view, examining the kind of debate that happened on the floor of Parliament brings back the memories of the most controversial bills that have been passed on the floor of Parliament before. Look at the age limit bill, the coffee bill, the political party and other organizations amendment bill. All have been passed in the same manner, looking at the House full to capacity, to the extent that some people were actually just standing in the lobby, others in the gallery, whatever, and the immense pressure that mounted on most of the parliamentarians, especially the Speaker and the Leader of Opposition. I think there was a very, very heated argument. Even when you could tell from the word go that from the opposition side it was always going to be futile, they put up resistance This time round, the only thing we didn't see them was marching out of Parliament, but also we didn't see them maybe being forced out of Parliament like it was during the age limit debate. Peculiar to this was the fact that the members on the two aisles seemed to agree that there are glitches within this law. Even on the floor of Parliament, you could see it. Members from the NRM side and members, almost all of them from the opposition side, at least most of them were vouching for time. But this looked like a premeditated kind of debate that needed to pass there and then. And the argument was we have limited time as the 11th Parliament, and we cannot give this bill any more time. So probably members were saying, can we withdraw the bill, send it to the committee for further review, because earlier the Attorney General had come up with amendments, which amendments many people were saying have turned the bill upside down, that this that had been presented for the final passing was actually a new bill. And members wanted to give the new bill, quote unquote, a little bit more time, to have more academia people, more legal minds to have a say about it. And I saw the spirit within which the Speaker was speaking, and some of the confessions she makes on public fora, thanking the government chief whip, and gratifying herself that you gave me a bill, I've passed this bill for you, so you don't demand me. It's telling and revealing. So it was that kind of debate, scuffle, lots of arguments here and there, but you could still see that the opposition were arriving were dead on arrival. First, because of the interior motives about this bill, but two, because of their numbers in Parliament. So as journalists, we did our job. We covered the side stories, members who preferred to march out and stay away. We covered how it was not easy for just saying nays and ayes have it, to the extent that they had to go and vote physically, using counting of numbers. So I feel this is one of the probably historical and most controversial bills that have been passed in Parliament. We await to see whether President Museveni assents to it or not.
And Philip Karugaba, you've been talking about this bill from the time it was presented, and even after it has been passed, you have had a response. To begin with, so what was passed? What's in the bill?
Thank you very much, Oscar. First, let me say that to date, the bill, the committee reports, the comments from the public are not publicly available on any government media. And maybe our incoming MPs will see to that we never again have a bill debated when it's not on the website for Parliament. It should be there, it is not there. And we've said this for the last maybe two or 3 weeks. So, again, let me say thank you to Uganda, thank you to Ugandans. They demonstrated sovereignty, they turned up, defended their sovereignty, and showed that power belongs to the people. There were 53 people who came to testify before the committees, and dozens of memoranda that were submitted. Imagine, even the Governor Bank of Uganda was there. Even Rotary Club also showed up. So we thank Uganda for doing that. What changed? A lot. The key driver definitions of the law, foreigner and agent of foreigner, were redrafted. Diasporans got off the hook completely. Then there was a big exemptions bonanza. Anybody who said, I don't want to be part of this bill, was given a free ticket out. Any entity that holds a license that's regulated by government is excluded from application of the law. Any person who receives a lawful capital flow, be it commercial, be it charitable, be it family, is also exempted. Now, the other changes, the ministerial powers were curtailed, prison terms were lowered, from what we're seeing of 20 years, it's now 10. Fines were reduced from 4 billion to 2. There were 5 new definitions of interest to Ugandans. And in total, out of 30 clauses, 18 were amended. Out of 30 clauses, 18 were amended.
You'd say that's like a new bill entirely.
Thank you very much. In fact, I'm very, very concerned that Honorable Kajwenje is saying in today's new vision that Parliament can change a bill up to 90% and still pass it, provided the objects clause does not change. But now when you look at the new bill, you look at the certificate of financial implications that introduced the bill. You look at the memorandum of this bill, then you look at the contents of the bill. They are different animals. They are not in harmony at all. Okay, and that's illegal. There are concepts now in the bill that Ugandans should have been invited to comment on. Okay, we needed to receive from the Minister of Finance an assessment of the financial implications of this bill as it is now recast. Okay, so we've asked the President not to assent. We've asked the President not to assent. We've asked the President to send this back to Parliament. Parliament has it withdrawn and resubmitted so that the public can comment. Given the massive turnout that was shown, really, given that out of 43 people who testified, 51 spoke against. 51 spoke against. Surely this thing has to go back to the public for the reasons I've given.
So, but what's in the bill now? You know, it's so... Yes. I've been trying to find out what's in the bill.
Yes.
And
you remember initially I said that the bill captured everybody, banks, insurance companies, you know, everybody, staff of banks, everybody. The net had been cast too wide. Okay. Now instead of that, they have cast away the whole net. That it's really hard to see who is left to be caught by those provisions regarding remittance of monies. Okay.
Remittances and receiving.
And receiving, yes.
Foreign money and being a foreign agent.
Yes. Because if you take out all the licensed entities, if you take out everybody who's receiving money for commercial,
as the President says, the bishops and so on.
So that leaves very little. Honorable Kajwenje said the other day that if you receive money for a rebellion, we will catch you. Yes, of course. Even today, the penal code is there. It catches you. That's what Besigye is facing. Okay? So that's a different issue. But there are still some offenses in the bill which are still open for anyone. Offenses such as economic sabotage, interfering with government programs, and if I may speak to those for a bit, the interfering with the government program. What is interfering? And here it's important because when you are prescribing a criminal offense, you do so in language that the citizen, or if you're upon those age, the citizen needs to know. The fellow citizen, he needs to know what behavior don't you want me to do, so that I guide my circumstances accordingly. But when it is vague, interfering with the government program, if I say you guys, instead of doing this, like you're suggesting, the health for senior citizens, perfect. But it isn't there. Instead, there's health for MPs, 5 billion, and you want another 5 billion for health for MPs. Even a category for aged people.
Maybe Council to give you information on what Oscar is asking, that yes. What is now contained in the bill.
Yes.
In the bill, like the...
Yes.
No. It has not been accepted by the President.
After it's passed.
But just to chip in and then give you information, is that as per the name of the bill itself, Protection of the Sovereignty Bill 2026 is about protecting the independence of this country, that decisions of governance, decisions of security, decisions of territorial boundaries will be determined by us as a country. Yes, at first, actually, it caused a lot of mayhem within the country because of some of the clauses you clearly said they removed, especially calling a Ugandan abroad to be a foreigner, even the letter by the president on the evening of, I think it was Thursday evening last week, he was also asking the chairpersons of the committees, that is the Committee of Legal Affairs and then the Committee of Internal Affairs, that we have been so ambiguous. We are even attacking, or we are including things that are not limited to what we want to do as a country. And Oscar, not to hide or to pretend that we don't know what has been happening, especially across Africa as a continent, but also in the Arab world. We have seen foreign influencers, people with foreign interests coming to stable countries like Uganda, and then they cause a lot of conflicts. They change governments, not democratically, but to fulfill their interests. We have seen this in Sudan, in Egypt, in Libya, where Gaddafi was. So we are saying, instead of decisions being determined in some of these capitals, the foreign capitals of London, you go to Washington, D.C., at Capitol Hill, you go where? Let decisions be made in this country democratically, the way we have been in the campaign trail in the last year up to this year. We made a decision that we chose the best out of the candidates. I like the statistics from my senior Opondo, that even us in Bugiso, we had a candidate. My chairman, my very good friend, Honorable Nathan Nandal Mafabi. But we said, yes, you're our son, but there is the best of the best, who is President Museveni. And when you look at what these foreigners, some of them have done to some of these countries, we have seen what has happened in Sudan. Myself, I worked in South Sudan. I really know the effects of war.
Caused by foreigners in Sudan.
Caused by foreigners.
Foreigners from Uganda or where?
Yes, that's a good question.
Okay.
When we changed the government in DRC.
Yes.
When we changed the presidency in DRC. But Chairman,
okay,
okay,
you have gone. Okay, Council.
Honorable Biara, you wanted to give him information.
Let me finish this. He has mentioned on DRC. Yes. I think I read the story.
Honorable Biara, you wanted to give him information. You have just your time. Your time.
Now
is
this
coming.
is the last part of the information I'm giving.
No. Just hold on and you finish. Honorable Biara. Today I'm the speaker of this table. So,
yes.
Okay.
Because
I'm going to come back and challenge you on things you've said.
Yes. As a country,
yes.
Can start from
that's what it's about. But what is in it? Okay.
Yeah.
Now I just want to address one more. Clause 13 is on economic sabotage. Okay. And it punishes anybody who publishes, does an act that impacts our economy. Okay. Those terms are so vague. They're so vague as to what exactly the offenses that's being punished. But worst of all is that speech, criminalizing speech in this day and age is unconstitutional. We started in 2004, Charles Onyango-Bo versus Attorney General, where the offense of false news was nullified. We went to the case of Mwenda versus Attorney General, the offense of sedition was nullified. The case of Karamaji versus Attorney General, the offense under Computer Misuse Act of offensive communications was nullified. Okay, last month, the case of Alternative Digitalk versus Attorney General, the offense of criminal defamation in the Penal Code was also nullified, and we rebased the country on a platform of freedom of speech based on international conventions. So how today can we have a clause 13 saying speech is criminalized again? These are the issues. These are some of what is in the bill, now the act, and some of the issues that we have with it. Thank you.
We stop for a break, and then we'll have some more discussion, beginning with you, Honorable Biara, so that you finish your point. Okay. I'd like to challenge you on a few of the things you said. Welcome back from the break. This is the Capital Gang. We are defining sovereignty and why the bill is needed. So, Honorable Biara,
thank you very much. I forgot that I was giving information instead. I went into a discussion. Yes.
Less than 1 minute, I think.
Yeah, go. Yes, on the microphone. What advice were you giving him?
I'm giving him that he should now start learning how to give you information, and he must be concise, brief to the point,
and precise. It's okay,
precise.
And accurate.
That's why we are here.
Some of the examples you gave, they are not so. Even if they may be inaccurate, but they are not our aspiration. You can't now in a discussion say we would like to be like Libya.
Maybe you misquote me. I was just giving information that
examples of where
foreign interference has stepped in and caused a lot of instability, and we don't want that to happen here. We want to enjoy. We want to continue enjoying a cup of coffee at the Capital Gang here.
Foreign interference has happened in Iran.
Peacefully.
Could Iran have legislated against that foreign interference?
But you have seen why. You know why the U.S. was stopped, and now they have gone into arbitration because...
So would the sovereignty bill stop the U.S. attacking Iran?
That is what we are trying to protect here. That's what we are trying to ensure that it does not happen to Uganda. And you know, Oscar, we might take this as an NRM bill or as a M7 bill, President M7 bill, as people are saying, but it is not. It is
he jumped out
the
of the bill to begin with.
The act will even stay beyond NRM government. Therefore, it is to protect decisions that even when there is change of power, decisions should be made from Uganda.
Okay.
Policy decisions. The objective of the law is specifically to ensure that key government policies are decided within this capital, Uganda, or Uganda as a country. Not people sitting somewhere in another capital or in another country and they decide for us. If we are in a mature democracy like Uganda, where every year we are going into campaigns, we are holding polls, people go and present their manifestos, and we had about 8 candidates in the previous presidential race. The FDC presented their candidate with a manifesto. The NOP people, even my brother Munyagwa came with Lusania. He said, okay, if you give me this...
You're relating all this to the sovereignty bill?
Definitely.
How?
Because we are democratic, but we want to say that the policies should be debated in Parliament, that the majority of members who were there, I think, decided that the bill should be passed, and it went to the president. So we are waiting. The president has to peruse through it and then decide whether all the clauses that have been inserted in the bill are correct, or they are affecting the interests of the local people, they are affecting the interests of the FDIs or civil society, and then all other stakeholders. And it will be either signed or returned, as my brother Kansa is saying.
Thank you.
Therefore, I want to conclude on that by saying, please let us, we are at a very critical time in this country where people are expecting a transition, where so many things are coming up, maybe in the next 5 or 10 years. We should be very, very critical in how we make decisions for the good of this country. that where our
Thank you, Honorable Biel.
let me conclude by this. Where our forefathers have brought this country from, especially from 1986 to now, let us find grip that we move it forward the way it is.
I'll come back to you later, but I'm also going to ask if O has understood what Honorable Biel is saying in terms of a sovereignty bill.
I have understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because the bill tries to shore probably what the existing laws, either because there are inadequacies in the law or institutional framework to implement. Because rightly, many people have argued that we have sufficient laws. There's no need for a new law. But this has been the argument all along, for the last 40 years, by the way. When Justice Odok Constitutional Commission proposed that we write a new constitution, the vestiges of UPC, Cecily Ogwal and others, may her soul rest in eternal peace, argued that there was no reason to write a new constitution. Cecily Ogwal, as the Secretary General of UPC and later Chairperson Presidential Policy Committee, refused, barred any UPC member from forwarding their views to the Odok Committee. You can go and check the report. UPC never forwarded views there. No UPC branch, no prominent UPC person. That was the argument. However, when the train left and we are going into the election of CA in 94, they saw that they had lost 8 years. They saw that they had lost 8 years, and they rushed to join the CA race. It was at that point that we were to expel them from UPC. They moved the leadership, they expelled them. Why are you participating in the constitutional meeting when you have the UPC constitution of 1967? You are legitimizing the seven by participating in the meeting. Some of the people are young, they don't know this country. When we are waiting the principle now, we are waiting that next time. On the 5th of October 1995, the publication. Senator made what we call the national record to the local. Today we have to consider that the overall and that is good. The local, when they ask them to attain their citizens, the local to by example that it is very clear. He said we cannot, because we have inserted Article 269 violate political party activity. When we come to the 2000 referendum, the first part of the right to vote, it's a way the way the referendum was organized in the person in the same way. Now we have the time to accept the constitution. This is the key. And it doesn't have to be perfect. I think the third direction, I think the constitution is very good and fair. No time to vote. First thing. And I think this is it. For the national total environment. My neighbor has even a good time with the country of the national okay, now it's here. We want to put forward our policy. If the law is not allowed, we are having to override 26 years, over 16 years. What happened was that post-popular that we are not there. We are going to go in the regime of what we do to take the other part. The first thing we are now going to do is not to have the right to take it. You know what I mean? Because we are going to look at the money to know the market is lower. To do good, the result is better. Basically, the news is the only news to speak around. They say they know. They are not the way they know what they need to the local commission to know. They know nothing.
The represented by the United Uganda, is supported by Parliament, is supported by the President of the Democracy. So, Sister Uganda, why do you want the first law? Why do you want the first law? Why do you want the first law? For example, totally blazing, the blue and red is the old voting. You know there is a small country. What we are saying, if you give your money the money for that, you can always get it for example. Can you get to this people, this people? So, which are the subtitles, no policies that require additional health support? The people of the don't need that. He said, if you are getting the money to rural water, which villages not have water, so that we do the bond for people to use the money all over the country. The local government. Many people are there, many water there. So this part of the church will not for them. Now, those of you who get the money, and we don't have how much they are developing now, but the government is working like a good place. And we have to go to the local government, and we are developing money. And it's not good. And we don't know what between January and January. But you want to go to the government?
Thank you. Some advice to people who are able to use paper.
Yes, essentially, it's a waste to I don't know, to remove what is not intended to what is not intended. And part of it was the drafting and the English. Because there are a lot of words to do with different. So what does this mean? What does agent mean? What does corona mean in line with the national, but also the relationship with our father? That is give an example which really I took me back when I told the AA. I was a parent in the past, even in the more than minutes, and I found a very good from Mumbai. I asked him, but I remember the time I was here now, someone in India. So he said, you are here, you came to appear before the committee. I said, you have come to discuss the situation. He said, yes, what is it? I'd like to say, no longer, but it's good to yourself, you see it come from the border. We cannot force to have our cultural dance can be across the border when we call us Filipinos. And when we come back, we also have sports and questions for no sports, we cross the border, and then we take fights. And then when we go to the border, we have to money. But now, that was very far from the actual being the collective, the intention and the spirit. But we see the excitement or the message of the government to people even from my own. They didn't come. They didn't come. I never saw any scholar or any organization from the mission or the person here. No video came, but I don't know. But this one is the voice I know the inspiring. So that tells this function about the fire that went out, and while I have not seen the USB of the stars awaited close by close to the small zone, the clone wants me, but I hope that whatever is collected now speaks to the fear and looking in the fear. And I'm saying this because even the website where I remember also not on the top before the community. So I hope different stakeholders, their purpose, either by definition or by spirit or by the replacement of the project has been addressed. The next debate I want to see is that when we have a bill here that was approved, and maybe when we have time to discuss it, the real meaning now as it now by not outside before. But we must appreciate in good faith all the people that went to Parliament to express their views. They went to the right forum, and that's the how we did our work in Uganda. The target is given 45 days for consultation, and then the committee gets into work, they retreat, they clean the document to reflect the aspirations of the people of Uganda. But while on this, I think that going forward, to before doing that thing, during this matter, I need a lot of sensitization and the mindset application of the people. Because I think people particularly fail, even to understand what they're doing about the lack of information. So we need to plug with that, the media thing. We need to plug with that. Because for Oscar, beyond the pandemic, we need to have a lot of sensitization so that people that really come to appear have a clear understanding of what it is that they're coming to address, and the project of the purpose of the health category, and the students be seen that they are doing something that is either activist or negative. It's their right. So at the end of the day, they don't know it's their right.
So I think also there are people that are forward to me that the non-government food. Yes. Like the non-government. And again, I believe there are people too. The government, Bank of Uganda. Yeah. When there is a report, they were pushing about because they see the food. And they food, but I'm waiting for my time to do that. The website, people are supposed to know. When they consistently say no, they read the mistake. They don't want to know. They will get on it. We also come
and create the false narrative because it's really good. It's such that you cannot compare the other people with the research. Because let's take the research say they are known because which in fact make mistakes. But for them to deliberately go out and make it, and they have done so consistently. And you remember when the measure of government sector is the cost of them, for example now we have this time for the cost of them. Is there any government fund or business scale or exporter who has been relying immensely to fund the person? But this has been said that they give you the government. This is oppositionist. I think that's the time. Oppositionist. I think we cannot explain the recipe. And of course, they take advantage from the manufacturers in the development country. Like if the point is something, and then people come over at the ministry level, or at the parliamentary government level, and they do other things. They in fact, they will make it maintain. The government.
Yeah, but then I know now for the last half hour of the guy, that we're going to go down to this guy. The examples you should give them here, you should say the total bill was passed and these are the advantages. Instead of saying, well, the total bill was passed, you said no, the guy didn't. Then you go and say the total bill was passed and these are the things that you do.
My claim back to you, I want opposition. I want you to, no, I just gave it an example. Where the government has used their identity for purposes of undermining their activity. Or, like that, the manager. I argue in my own style, it's not me. It's not me. Other things. So not just I'm living the honest to you. To show me one person who has been negatively affected by the proposed example of the way the government comes.
But the really wanting to be able to question of the national identity, more than that salary that we told them to argue before. In much that national identity was difficult to use, and now the old IGC to work better than the new ID.
I don't know, it is not the negative intent. During the election process, there is no importance of people saying they have gotten their nationals as they are on the national ID. That is being consulted and put them onto that register which is taken to PC for them to be nominated. Many people say that they have had this information. And all the time they think let's talk to what is there.
single source. Product whatever to source. Have you just received your bonus, sold property, or you have your company somewhere? Don't let that money sit idle. Make it grow.
Philip Karugaba, your time to have a rebuttal.
Thank you.
Especially against Oponopono, who says you are an oppositionist. Yes.
Now he's framing the terms in which I should respond,
Yeah.
which he stopped you from doing. But he's very good at what he does. I want us to distinguish, first of all, my right to speak as a citizen about the governance of the country and opposition. Okay? When I speak, I'm not looking for political power. I just want better governance. And I'm within my constitutional rights to do so. I would like to address 2 points. One, about withdrawal of a bill that has been substantially amended. The principle is that the public have not had a chance to see those amendments, to see those changes which have been made. And it's long-standing. I think it's credited to Jacob Olanya in 2019 when the sexual offences bill was withdrawn. Okay? More lately, it was the Public Service Pensions Fund bill in 2023, which had suffered 62% changes. And Attorney General Chiriwa Chonka withdrew it. Okay? Now, it's not just a numbers game of percentage of change, but here we have substantive, qualitative changes which have rebased the entire law. There are things in there that Ugandans have had no chance to comment on. Now, the errors from the first draft to where we are today, they were brought to light by public participation. When the Governor Bank of Uganda came and said, look, do you know what you're doing? You're going to depreciate our currency. That's what caused the change. Now, why isn't this bill being brought back to the public for further comment? On your point about existing laws, are there existing laws to do this? Yes. Let's take NGOs for example. The NGOs already account for their funding to the NGO Bureau under the NGO Act. Now, this one, this sovereignty bill requires them to report on their funding to the Minister of Internal Affairs. That's the same minister who oversees the NGO Bureau. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Why are we playing? I don't know. I called it regulatory katogo. So I think in this is law. And law is not a technicality.
No, what I'm
These are
saying,
constitutional principles.
Hold on.
Does it harm to have similar laws? That
So had you, well, you finish up your submission first,
Yes.
Philip.
So I'm saying that these are constitutional principles, the right of citizens to participate, to influence government policy. That's Article 38. And that's why the bill must be withdrawn. Should we wait and take it to the Constitutional Court and challenge it? Yes, that could, and I like the way people always say, go to court, go to court. Yes, that process we know will take 3 years. Okay? And the Constitutional Court's time should not be bogged down by correcting mistakes. Okay? Those we should sort out ourselves through dialogue. Already achieving the second draft was through dialogue. Let's do it again. There's no issue with that. You have 72% in the new house, you will pass the bill. Okay? But let's get out these obvious issues, these offenses which are not offenses, which have already been nullified by the Constitutional Court.
Okay. Before we move, Derek, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I like the way OO shapes the narration.
He's a seasoned politician speaking for the government of Uganda for many years.
That even when he's bringing examples, he's very cherry-picky. Because he would have also maybe mentioned the UPDF Act that was struck down. Probably you would have also pointed out the Computer Misuse Act that was struck down, and that was
the whole act.
The
amendments that we come up with, and you know that there are precedents that have been seen. So if you say that because we passed the coffee bill and it has not affected anyone the way it was supposed to be, also mention, try to be balanced. You're a seasoned journalist. I have read you as a journalist and followed you so much. As journalism, we are trained to be fair and balanced. You are only mentioning those laws that you think have been successful, but there are those that have not been successful. And it's very fair for Ugandans to always come up and complain, because at the end of the day, we have seen our fingers being burnt because of not thinking when we are passing some of these laws.
Okay.
Moses Biarhanga, Mr. Moses Biarhanga has posted on our platform here, our capital gang. He has said that actually, since the passage of the coffee bill,
My microphone.
since the coffee bill was passed, both the volume of exports and amount of money earned by Uganda has actually increased. Contrary, you remember Mwanga Kivu, particularly the group in Uganda here, who were saying if you pass this coffee bill, we shall not export as much. Now Moses is a figures man. Moses is a figures man.
And he knows also how to choose. But at least for him.
Are you saying
But at least for him.
sometimes are you saying sometimes Moses lies with the figures?
Abdul bought him a book. Abdul bought him a book, How to Lie with Statistics. He knows how to. But
I remember that.
yes, I have read the book, and
I saw the book.
indeed, and you know, that's what I'm saying to when he said I shouldn't frame, but Moses has heard me and he has framed it in that manner. And then the responses are like Namfuka would say, a tree will grow. Trees grow whatever you do to them. But that discussion we shall continue, especially when it gets published fully, and we'll continue the discussion. But Derek, you're the journalist here. UEDCL. So what happened was we had Mr. Paul Mwesigwa here. He seemed feisty, warned us against Kamufus, but the problem is the noise comes from people not having electricity. And in this day and age, when there's no electricity and then no fuel, even for generators, it's a crisis is coming. So what's here on the ground? What's your ear on the ground telling us?
Last week, no, at least I think it was Saturday last week. Friday we had to hold press at some point to be able to break the news of the firing of the chairperson of board of UEDCL and sending the MD of UEDCL, Paul Mwesigwa, onto forced leave. And that was Friday. Then Monday, many other people and top officials in UEDCL found SFC or counter-terrorism people standing at their doors to their offices and telling them you cannot access this office at all. And for a better part of the week, the UEDCL offices and premises were heavily guarded by security. And the reason for all this was that there was mismanagement. They said that the UEDCL had posted a loss of, I think, 110 billion or something like that. And among the others was there were deals that were exchanging hands within the UEDCL. And thereafter, the minister went on to appoint a new board chair, Rakakoko, in acting capacity, and went to also
Body chair?
no MD, yes, MD went on to appoint an acting board chair as well, and the other positions, including the spokesperson. You know, John Nkiza, who had been here, was also found a security officer armed on his office, so he couldn't access on Monday. So he had to pack up his bags that he came with without entering office, and he left. I saw the person who has replaced him in acting capacity is one Stephen Ilungole.
Ilungole.
Yeah, so he's the one who is acting in that position. But there are so many questions that come as a person who has been covering UEDCL quite ardently. Quite many questions come up. There are questions that are concerning if UEDCL, for instance, posted a loss of maybe 110 billion, UEDCL posted a loss of 655 billion.
In the same period.
In the same period.
Please add Uganda Airlines.
And UEDCL has not been touched at all. UEDCL has. There was a video I was watching when MD Paul Mwesigwa had just been, when they had just entered into, after the big transition from Umeme to UEDCL. I saw veteran journalist Andrew Mwenda warning Paul Mwesigwa on the fact that his peril is never going to be about losses. It's never going to be about him being inefficient. Maybe incompetent or what. His peril is going to be about just fights, internal fights, political pressures, and stuff like that. People who can access President Museveni and can tell him things, or even falsify reports and tell him information that's not even like corroborated and stuff like that. And when you follow on social media, there is every talk about that. Now people are asking, okay, so you remove Paul Mwesigwa, and the minister who sacked all these people had confessed earlier that UEDCL entered into a sector that had found a dilapidated sector. That means,
just as Umeme said when they entered the sector.
Yes, and that means that the minister had the powers to give these people time to, work out a few things here and there. We just celebrated them one year the other day when Paul Mwesigwa was here, and one would wonder whether 1 year is enough for them to correct some of the dilapidated.
Did they say they were making money?
In 1 year, well, we are talking
to make money in 1 year, but
in 1
it is
year,
debatable whether for them they were going there to make money, because the one that was making money did not get a concession, so theirs must not have been about making money.
Yeah, so there have been so many technicalities there. The way even Paul Mwesigwa was sent out because he's supposed to be sacked by the board, which supervises
how did they come
directly.
How did Paul Mwesigwa come there?
He's supposed to be.
How did he come?
I don't know.
So,
but we know the law that the board is the one that
oh, you are no longer government spokesman. You
supervises.
You are honorable Ovonoponda.
So,
Philip,
so all those things have.
We have limited time. So, was that news to you, UEDCL, or do you think something was bound to happen?
From Andrew Mwenda's perspective, yes, where there is big money, it attracts a lot of attention, and inevitably people get tripped up. If you look at the history of NSSF, you'll find more than not the MDs have been in prison. I wished somebody, I said, look, you're doing so well, I want you to join NSSF and lead it. And he was so angry with me. He said, I thought you were my friend. I said, yes, I am. He said, how can you wish me such a mishap? Yes. So on UEDCL, Lydia Ochengo is a personal friend. She has a right to be heard. Whatever went wrong, let's ask for the investigations to be done and concluded, and there be accountability to the Chitijin. Yes.
Honorable Biara. Are you from Muchini?
Were you surprised? Both Philip and I'm going to ban that language.
Oscar, I think I was surprised, but the trend at which most of these parastatals are sucking in, hiring, it is causing a lot of financial loss to this government. I think you remember the scenario of Bamutarachi, Uganda Airlines, and then after...
You know who appointed her?
I know. Okay. The appointing authority. We have only one. So, I just want to use this opportunity of UEDCL, I think, to further reconsider some of the decisions we are making.
Earlier arguments, we like to thank President Museveni and so on.
Yes, but we also want to advise him. And when we were in Chankwanzi, I think Madame Nachove really went through some of the loopholes we are having in public service. how we are hiring people, how people are misusing offices, how there is a lot of embezzlement. And I'm glad she read that report in front of the president, and they should be aware. Now that we have just sacked the board, and then the process at which the appointment was made, I don't know whether the person who is in the seat, in the hot seat now, she's going to be able to deliver, or we are going to wait that we are going to make further losses, and then the importance of power to this country, like in terms of industrialization, in terms of everything we do relies on electricity. I just want to ask my senior and former SEC member, Madam Honorable Lydia, I think we need to look in the mirror ourselves as the government, the sitting government. We see, can we advertise some of these critical, significant positions openly? We allow even people like Oscar. You are very informed. You come on the panel.
Friends, right?
Yes. We advertise. I remember in Kenya some of the critical positions like Chief Justice, like NSSF. Let them advertise openly. We see the competences of people. They should come here on Capital Gang. They give us presentations. They go on the TVs, maybe on national TV, other than just pickpointing people, and then they end up causing us a loss, which we take long to recover, and yet we have a national debt, as the Bank of Uganda governor was saying the other day. So we need to be very critical, and then we make rightful decisions for the good of this country.
Lydia. Did you expect?
This year did not only change the leadership, it was part of the institution that did the rationalization. So apart from the individuals who were merged and others who lost, when they put up a structure, you can see that you are leading by just your title missing. If the office has a principal information officer and it's not in the new structure, you pack your bags and go home. So they've been going through that, which required also stability. Many of the agencies that underwent rationalization have not stabilized. They are settling in people. The public service is putting up the new structure. They are they're explaining job tasks. Now, because of the sensitivity of UEDCL, because of power, when you look at, like now we are here, if power goes off, the studio will be off. So this one is a very sensitive institution, and I think that they should have been done like a standalone agency, so that they are rationalized and the competences filed and the tasks to competences lined up in public service, because it's a government agency, and yet it should run like a private sector. Efficiency is so important. So while you can sleep on job in other departments, areas like power, like water, like road. That's why you see, Oscar, even you with your Chigo Road, we are tired. You are on radio every day, Chigo, because there are things that can't wait, that hit a person on front. Water, electricity, road infrastructure.
Keep talking about water. Water, we are really
hospital.
And no, SFC has not gone there yet.
And yet you are near the lake. Hospitals. That's a contradiction. So this we are talking about individuals being fired and others being recruited, but that agency requires more than that. The whole, because it contributes, it's one of the fundamental pillars of Uganda's development infrastructure. Without power, we cannot do anything. We are talking about the ATMs. The ATMs manufacturing is heavily on electricity. So I think that they have work to do, both at policy.
National Planning Authority.
The plan is
electricity.
The plan is the plan is there. The plan is there.
I'm saying it points out the importance.
Yes,
of
it's one of the key pillars. because you cannot talk about ATM. Agro-processing is electricity as well in agriculture sector. Mechanizing is about power. Then tourism. Can you bring people without power here in there? Say, what about manufacturing? So it's so important. It's a very sensitive sector for the growth and the development of the country.
They just maybe again you challenge Wandera for rumor mongering, but is it true that it is soldiers that came to chase people out of offices?
I'm not pretty.
Go to the microphone.
I don't have the same sources of information as him.
Yeah, of course.
And just before you go on and present, as you said, Wandera Ofonopono is cherry picking. BMK Gift Senior regular licenses. Talk about national IDs. You reminded me about Ofonopondo's confession that he applied for the national ID in April 2024 and he got it last month, April 2025. And he, Ofono himself, asked how efficient.
Cherry picking. I was coming there.
I was only bringing a cherry picking.
I was going to start by saying...
go to the microphone.
I think 1994, 91 there, I was beating the president and I said, Mr. President, you are having square pegs in round holes. We were two, the two of us. And Nobu Mayembo was his ADC then. And Nobu chuckled in laughter. He said, what do you mean? I said, sir, there are many people you are placing where they shouldn't be. I think we have gone back to that. Many square pegs in round holes, and they're not quite fitting, and it comes by way of appointments. One of the people you mentioned here, I have learned, was appointed only because her father was a best man for one of the senior ministers. Best man in the 1970s. You can imagine if that's the basis, one of the criteria, or probably the top 3 ranking criteria.
People like Wandera will never get an appointment.
No, you don't know where his mother came from. The mother could have been a girlfriend of Ofono, for example. And I can say, the son of my former girlfriend is here.
And you give him?
Yes, and I give him. Yes. So, if you look at... You remember when we had issues?
I think we have been missing you.
Yes, you remember when we have been... you remember when we had issues with the UNRWA? And because Allen had done fairly well, particularly on the front of rejecting corruption and URA, she was just transferred to UNRWA. In mathematics, we used to have something mutually commutative. If you have been in URA, is it mutually? Are those skills of URA mutually commutative in UNRWA? Hardly 2 years, we disbanded UNRWA, and from the words of the president, there's a lot of inefficiencies, there's a lot of this, he was complaining about the cost of roads, and so on, and the delays. This 4 months ago, when women was being shuffled out, how did they come? Does anybody remember? I don't remember.
Remind us.
I don't remember if there was a competitive bidding for that position. That rationalization. Now, this one who has replaced him. Do you know whose daughter she is?
Yes.
That may not matter much.
It matters.
But what are the competencies?
Actually,
Tell us.
people
Don't leave
were
it
saying
to
that she's from Ruahaha in Inamisindwa. It is not true. In Ugisu, we don't have Ruakakoko. We have Ruahaha.
Maybe you misheard.
He's got a point.
And in Ugisu, Ruhama could sound as Ruahaha. Now, so I think we have gone back to positions, particularly lucrative ones, becoming revolving doors. And the president, because the buck eventually stops with him, in my view, And in fact, he needs to reconsider. If you look at many of these boards, and he mentioned it by then in Chankwanzi, there in Chankwanzi, some people had said, we need our NRM people. Then the president said, no, isn't that part of the problem? Having failed politicians in the boards. We don't have very many boards, technical boards. Somebody wanted to be an MP for other persons in the Eastern region, he could not get it. The minister, who is his former colleague in parliament, they push them to boards, and so on and so forth. So those turning government offices required to ones into revolving doors is part of the problem. And we need to bring it to a stop. Without that, you remember we argued here, we said, Umeme, apart from the fact that probably they got contracts to throw back hand, slapping other people on their back, with the back of their hand, they had done a relatively good job. Since UEDCL came, and for me when they were brought, I did not have much faith, I didn't have hope. I knew taking back these things into civil service.
Into government.
We are going to, because now, if a minister called that Mwesigwa, or a member of parliament who is vocal like Opona and says, I want power in my village, will we evaluate the technical reasons for bringing power to Miranda Yago, or he will give it because of what is going to talk on the capital gang?
Yeah.
So, I think we need...
there's also the point of soldiers coming to evict UEDCL.
I am not privy to that information, honestly, I don't have it.
But if it were true, you wouldn't commend it.
Well, no, it may not be soldiers, but for example, if top management of UEDCL or the ministry thinks that people are going to vandalize computers, carry away documents, and yet you are saying we need investigation, the proper appropriate thing would be to have the police.
Thank you.
Yeah, the police. And good enough, he was not sure. He said SFC or counterterrorism. Counterterrorism is part of police, so that wouldn't be an offense. Even SFC, if where we know, for example, that police can be compromised, you need to put another layer of security where they cannot connive. For me, even that one wouldn't be a big issue.
Yeah.
The issue should be who directed. There is a ministry. Now,
and if a ministry does, then it's in their mandate.
And there is a minister.
So thank you, Ofonopondo, Honorable Ofonopondo. By the end of next week,
start training your tongue. to refer to me as honorable.
By the way, the president is the voter of Ofonopondo.
Yeah.
So when you are consulting the elderly, you must make sure that you reach.
Thank you, Honorable Lydia Nyoto. Thank you, Honorable Derek Wandera. Thank you, Star Cafe. But he's still Gen Z. Thank you, Star Cafe, for powering the gang. Rough Cuts is next. I am Oscar Semoya Msoke, and I shall see you next week. Let us polish off Star Cafe goodies now. Thank you.